When you think of space rockets or space tech generally, you think of NASA. But did you know that SpaceX is already breaking records that are shocking even NASA? Yes, although Elon Musk's SpaceX is relatively new to the space game, the company is already making a huge name for itself in space tech and space exploration. The Falcon 9 boosters, designed and used by SpaceX, have broken records that have shocked not just the entire space community, but have also baffled even the scientists and engineers who built them. So what record exactly did the Falcon 9 boosters break? Before we proceed, you're welcome to the Space Minds channel. Here we uncover space mysteries and take you on exciting adventures. If you're a fan of rockets, galaxies, and other space-related stuff, you're in the right place. So hit that subscribe button and join us on this intergalactic adventure. Also, don't forget to ring the bell so you get notified every time we post. Now, what exactly is a Falcon 9 booster? A Falcon 9 booster, or you can call it a Falcon 9 first stage booster, which is its official name, is a reusable rocket booster specially designed to be used on the Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy orbital launch vehicles, all manufactured by SpaceX. Falcon 9 boosters have been used for up to a decade now on a variety of Falcon rockets and spacecraft and are considered one of the best in the world, although they are very expensive. Well, good things come with a price, don't they? After realizing the massive cost it takes to build one booster for each rocket used, SpaceX developed a program dedicated to the recovery and reuse of Falcon 9 boosters to reduce the cost of their rocket launches. As you can imagine, space tech is expensive, very expensive, but rocket boosters are on another level. The cost of one rocket booster can vary depending on various factors, but it usually costs around 10% of the entire rocket. Now, the average cost to build a rocket booster is $37 million, and you'll agree that is a lot of money, even if you're Elon Musk or Bill Gates. So after SpaceX realized that they could not afford to build one booster per rocket, they decided to embrace reusing the ones they already had. We live in a world where everyone is talking about renewable energy, reusing, and recycling, so SpaceX thought, why not? And they decided to build something they could use again and again. But that's not even the interesting part. Anyone can make something to use again, maybe once or twice, but the number of times SpaceX's Falcon 9 boosters are being used is what is shocking everyone. And who wouldn't be impressed, really? Especially as SpaceX just reached a new reusability milestone for its Falcon 9 boosters, which are reusable a record 22 times. That's the highest ever for any Falcon 9 booster, and it has beat the expectations of even the team that built it. This new record was reached with the launch of another Starlink satellite on June 27, 2024. And while that is really impressive, it was the rocket booster that stole the show. Now, let's really talk about this veteran SpaceX's rocket booster B1062, which broke the 21 launch barrier. The record-breaking rocket booster was first used in November 2020. Since then, it has launched 2 GPS satellites, 8 astronauts over 2 missions, and 13 Starlink missions. The rocket booster has also sent more than 553 payloads to orbit and 2 Crew Dragon spacecraft, which is an impressive portfolio for any rocket booster. Now, B1062 holds the title of flight leader among the entire Falcon fleet. But this wonder rocket booster is not new to breaking records. The B1062 rocket booster was also the first Falcon 9 booster to reach 21 launches. Its 21st launch is also similar to the most recent one. It was to add 23 more satellites to Starlink's satellite fleet in low orbit. This same rocket booster also holds the title for the first Falcon 9 rocket booster to hit 20 launches. It broke that record on April 13, 2024, with yet another batch of 23 satellites for the Starlink mega constellation. Now, you may be wondering, if delivering 23 Starlink satellites is all B1062 ever does. That's not true. The B1062 1062 rocket booster has been used for a variety of other launches, including the launch of a geostationary communications satellite built by Airbus Defence. It has also been used to launch a batch of 40 satellites for the OnWeb satellite constellation, which is intended to provide global internet broadband service for individual customers. Apart from those, it has also taken on a batch of 55 satellites for Starlink all at once. Well, at this point, I think we can all agree that the B-1062 can really do it all. The B-1062 is impressive beyond any doubt, and it's understandable that the entire space community is shocked by its feats. But did you know that it has even shocked the team that built it? The SpaceX team behind the building of the Falcon 9 rocket boosters have come out to say that they are seriously impressed with the B-1062 rocket, which surpassed all expectations by a far margin. According to them, the company only hoped to be able to use each of its Falcon 9 boosters 10 times at the maximum. Reusing them for 22 launches was definitely not included in the plan. But what do you know? Some things are just built really well. John Edwards, the vice president of the Falcon 9 launch vehicles himself, came out to say that when the team that built the Falcon 9s got to 10 flights, the vehicles were still looking good, so they thought, why not build them to reach 15 flights per booster? So they started to push for 15 flights. But B-1062 has even surpassed that mark to show SpaceX's impressive engineering feats. The B-1062 may be the current trailblazer, but when it comes to SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket boosters, there have been other really impressive record breakers. The most famous of them all is, without a doubt, the B-1058. B-1058 also made headlines similar to the ones B-1062 is currently making back in 2023, when it launched for a record 16 times. Yes, the B-1062 has a competitor. On the night of July 9, 2023, B-1058 made space history. The rocket booster successfully launched a Falcon 9 rocket carrying a payload of Starlink satellites into orbit, making it the then champion. The launch also marked the 206th overall landing of an orbital-class rocket and the 216th successful mission for the Falcon rocket family. Of course, that record was unmatched in the history of space launch vehicles until the arrival of B-1062. After an impressive 16 launches, SpaceX also hoped B-1058 could add some more numbers to its launches before it was eventually retired. And it actually did. The B-1058 went on to fly for a record 17th, 18th, and 19th time. But unfortunately, all good things come to an end. The incredible booster was just coming back from its record-breaking 19th mission when disaster struck and it had its fatal fall. On that fateful time, B-1058 started out from Canaveral Space Force Station sometime in December 2023. It was carrying 23 Starlink satellites and it made a successful landing 8.5 minutes after launch on its designated drone ship. Unfortunately, due to the pressure from high winds and waves, B-1058 toppled and broke in half. It was a tragic end to a legendary booster, a hero's death if you like. After the crash of B-1058 on the drone ship named Just Read the Instructions, SpaceX wasted no time in analyzing what caused the crash and how to improve their other rocket boosters. Kiko Dionchev, the SpaceX Vice President of Launch, has said that the company was going to make lemonade out of lemons and learn from the situation. He said they have developed self-leveling legs that immediately equalize leg loads on landing. This upgrade may explain the incredible longevity of the latest SpaceX champion, B-1062, which now has 2 more flights than the old hero and does not show any signs of stopping soon. B-1058 will never fly again, but its death has saved and improved the lives of B-1062 and other Falcon 9 rocket boosters just starting out. B-1062 has now surpassed the 20 flight mark SpaceX has given their rocket boosters, so what's next for it? Should SpaceX decommission the rocket, or should they push past the 25th flight mark, maybe even a 30th flight mark? The booster seems to still be in good condition even after 22 runs, but just how many flights is too much? We can only wait and watch what SpaceX and the Falcon 9 team decide. They have come this far, and there's nothing stopping them from doing more. But at the same time, overuse can be dangerous, especially when it comes to spacecraft and space tech. Any error could prove fatal for lives and property. But apart from that, a faulty launch can lead to exploding rockets, which are significantly expensive to make, not to talk of the precious and equally expensive cargo they usually carry. Extending the life of B-1062 is ultimately the choice of the SpaceX team, but we'll certainly be following along to see what they do. And that's a wrap for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Space Minds for all the latest space news and updates.